It's question time, Julie Pedersen.
For moi.
For you?
Yes, what?
Are you up to date? Or is the paperwork done? I hate to bring it up, but wills, are they up to
Oh,
date?
we do have a will. Honestly though, we probably did it 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. Does it still work though?
Things have changed. Well, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe you need to update
the kids are a lot older now.
the beneficiary thing. That may need to change. I don't know. Kevin Kimbrough is going to sort that out
Good.
for us. Yeah.
Please do, Kevin.
Hurry.
Hi, I'm Kevin Kimbrough here in the offices of attorney Ann Poindexter, talking about life insurance, how we should be concerned about updating those things. Ann, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Ann, could you explain to our audience why people should update their life insurance plans?
Well, it's really the big topic of updating your estate plan. And it relates to different changes that people have in their lives. But I've had a number of people who were surprised that their will doesn't control all of their assets. So, for those of us with life insurance, we remember vaguely that we do a separate beneficiary designation with the life insurance.
True, yes.
So if my will says that you get all my life insurance, but my beneficiary designation says it all goes to my child, who do you think is going to get it?
Yes.
My child is going to get it, even though it said that in the will, because the beneficiary designation is what controls.
We should also be looking, as we've talked about earlier, updating the designation on your employees' life insurance plans.
Right, right. So, it's unfortunate, but sometimes people get divorced and they often, at the end of their divorce process, work with their lawyer and update their will and do some other things, but forget to go to HR and make sure that the spouse isn't, the ex-spouse now
Yes.
is no longer the beneficiary of life insurance, is no longer the beneficiary of retirement.
Ah, yes.
Those are two very common employer-provided benefits, which for a lot of people can be some of their most significant benefits when you're talking about a 401k, for example.
I was just going to mention that, yeah, so it kind of snowballs.
Yes.
So
yes.
what are some of the other things that we should be looking at?
Well, you definitely want to look at your power of attorney and your advanced health care directives. If you have gotten divorced, or if you named a friend and that friend is no longer close to you after a period of time, do you really want them making decisions for you if you have a crisis or you're temporarily disabled? So that's even during your lifetime.
Yes.
I mean, and people get the creepy crawlies when I say, do you really want your ex-husband, in most cases, making decisions for you, or your ex-wife? But it also holds just for your friend or your cousin. I mean, life is full of changes, relationships change, and so you need to look at those documents and you need to update them periodically.
So a will wouldn't supersede any of those?
No, because, the last thing we just talked about, a will handles assets if you die, and here's my big disclaimer, but, a will doesn't control assets that already have another designation on them. So the way I try and explain it to my clients is, everybody needs a will, but the will is kind of a document of last resorts. If you die, we go around looking for instructions about what to do with the assets you leave behind. So if we go look at the life insurance policy, we have an instruction and we follow it. We only use the will for the rest of the assets that don't have an instruction to it.
From the audience perspective, what are some of the most important things that they should look at?
I think that every 3 years, ideally, and at a minimum every 5 years, people need to look at the documents they had prepared by their lawyer, which I hope at a minimum is a will, a power of attorney, and some form of advanced healthcare directive. But they shouldn't stop there. I mean, they probably have a file folder with the documents I just talked about and may pull them out, look at them, say, still good, I'm done. You're not done. You need to next think about every time you have named a beneficiary. Life insurance, retirement, you know, any other asset that could have a value after your death, and you've named a beneficiary, you need to go back and see who that is. Sometimes people are really surprised.
Such a wealth of information, and we really thank you for being here and explaining that to our audience.
My pleasure.
I'm Kevin Kimbrough, Boomer TV.